All right, let's jump right into this explainer and uncover a massive, highly impactful educational ecosystem that Anthropic just quietly released to the public. If you've been paying any attention at all to the AI space lately, you know the landscape is shifting daily, right? There is just an overwhelming amount of noise out there. Now, Claude has definitely distinguished itself in this crowded market with its insane reasoning capabilities and those massive context windows that basically let it process entire books at once. But while everyone is busy arguing over the latest minor model updates, the company behind Claude did something completely unprecedented. They launched a deeply structured learning roadmap. And honestly, it is flying almost entirely under the radar. We are talking about exactly 18 completely free certified AI courses. And get this isn't some generic tutorial scraped together by self-proclaimed gurus trying to cash in on the hype. No way. These are rigorous modules taught directly by the actual engineers who built Claude from the ground up. That distinction is absolutely crucial. When you learn from the primary architects, you get to completely bypass the theoretical fluff and learn how these underlying systems are genuinely designed to operate. You're getting insider knowledge straight from the frontier, carefully designed to take you from a total beginner to an advanced practitioner, tailored perfectly to your specific job. Because, the source material actually puts it perfectly. The people who act now will look back on this as the moment they stopped watching AI happen and started building with it. The window to get ahead in this technological shift is still wide open, but it is not going to stay open forever. We are well past the novelty phase of just chatting with an AI. We're in the deployment phase now, where real, actual workflows are being transformed. So taking action today is really the defining moment when you stop being a passive spectator reading headlines and start actively constructing your future workflow. So here is exactly how we're going to break down this roadmap today. We'll look at the hidden AI opportunity, the core foundations everyone needs, the technical builder track, the professional fluency track, and finally, next-level scalable AI systems. We've grouped these courses up so you can find the exact track built for your situation. Starting right off with Section 1, the hidden AI opportunity, focusing on verifiable proof of skill. We really need to talk about the immediate, tangible payoff of doing this right now. Every single one of these courses ends with a verifiable credential that you can slap directly onto your LinkedIn profile today. This isn't just about passive learning. It's about proving your zero-to-hero transformation to the professional world. Look, the job market right now is completely saturated, with people claiming to be AI experts just because they messed around with a chatbot a few times. Having an official, verifiable certification straight from the creators of one of the world's most advanced AI models, that cuts right through the noise. It becomes an incredibly powerful differentiator that employers can actually trust. And the curriculum basically branches into two main paths depending on what you do for a living. First up is the technical track for developers and engineers, where the goal is building production-ready AI apps. Then you've got the fluency track. This one is for managers, educators, nonprofits, you name it, and it's all about applying AI strategically to your daily work. Anthropic totally understood that you don't need to be writing code to get massive value out of AI, so they built these specialized parallel journeys so everyone gets exactly what they need. Which brings us to Section 2, Core Foundations for Everyone, where we establish the baseline. Before you branch off into your specific track, there's a baseline understanding everyone has to have. I don't care if you're an engineer writing Python or a marketing director, you have to take these two foundational courses first. You kick things off with Claude 101, which covers the core features and scores you your first verifiable certificate. Then you hit AI capabilities and limitations at a conceptual level. The second one is a total game changer. You absolutely must grasp the boundaries of what AI can and cannot do before you try implementing it. Like, if you don't understand how these models process information, you might trust them for strict factual recall without checking their work, and that leads directly to costly hallucinations and massive workflow bottlenecks. This baseline sets realistic expectations so you aren't forcing the tech to do things it simply wasn't designed for. All right, let's move into Section 3, the technical builder track, strictly for those who write code. If your day job means staring at an IDE and firing up a terminal, this is where you want to live. For developers, there is a strict chronological 4-step sequence to follow here. Step 1 gets you rolling with Claude Code 101 and action. Once you got that down, Step 2 is mastering the full production toolkit by building with the Claude API. Step 3 takes you deep into both intro and advanced Model Context Protocol, or MCP. And finally, Step 4 shows you how to scale it all for the enterprise using Claude with Amazon Bedrock. It's an incredibly well-structured ramp-up from basic scripts all the way to secure enterprise-level deployment. Now, Model Context Protocol, MCP, sounds like some super intimidating engineering term, right? But honestly, it just means teaching your AI to securely talk to your external data. It's a framework that lets the model reach out, connect to your outside databases, APIs, and internal tools, and actually interact with them. Mastering this protocol is the exact moment your app goes from being a basic, isolated chatbot to a deeply integrated assistant that really understands your company's proprietary data. But what if you don't code? That takes us to Section 4, the professional fluency track, tailored for leaders and communicators. Anthropic clearly gets that using AI operationally is just as important as the engineering side, and the sheer variety of these non-technical tracks is honestly wild. Whether you're a manager rolling out an AI framework across your team, an educator trying to streamline lesson planning, a student focused on your career, someone running a nonprofit on a tight budget, or even someone whose job is literally teaching AI fluency to others, there is a laser-focused course built for your exact reality. A nonprofit director can learn to stretch a shoestring budget for grant writing, while a teacher takes a completely different track on academic integrity. You skip all the irrelevant tutorials and jump straight into the exact language of your profession. And finally, Section 5, Next-Level Scalable AI Systems, where we are really pushing the frontier. So for everyone who has mastered the basics and wants to push the absolute boundaries of what's possible, the curriculum all reconverges right here. The big takeaway is bridging the huge gap between just using a single tool and actually orchestrating an entire system. On one hand, you've got Claude Code, the desktop app for one-off tasks, like summarizing a PDF. But on the other hand, you've got agent skills and subagents. This is the big leagues. These courses teach you how to transition from doing a manual task with AI to building complex systems that run entirely in the background. Imagine going from manually asking an AI to format a weekly report to building a system that automatically pulls the data every Friday, analyzes the trends, and drafts the team email without you even lifting a finger. The ultimate goal of this advanced stuff is learning to manage these subagents. Think of subagents as specialized, scalable AI assistants designed to autonomously break down and execute complex tasks inside a much larger system. They are basically your specialized digital workers. Instead of one AI doing everything, you might have one subagent doing web research, another formatting data, and a third acting as the editor. You're learning to manage a literal team of digital workers that handle multi-step workflows. And mastering that means you get to step back from the daily grind and focus your human energy strictly on high-level strategy and creative problem solving. It's literally the ultimate professional leverage. So we've covered a huge amount of ground today, checking out all 18 of these completely free, certified courses from the team behind Claude. This educational roadmap is completely laid out for you, whether you're a systems engineer or strategic manager. The window to be an early adopter with credentials that employers actually trust is wide open right now, and the resources are sitting right there on a silver platter. So the only question left for you is this: are you going to just watch the AI revolution happen around you, or are you going to jump in and start building your future today?